Alright, hey guys, I wanted to show you guys my finished grid. So I finished gridding, and I also have now put a numbering system. So just going down the page 1 through 10, and then I've also done lettering so that I know each square has a letter and a number. Okay, now I wanted to show you guys how to grid your watercolor paper. Alright, so here's your watercolor paper, and you guys want to take a long ruler like this one, and remember I said that this paper is 12 by 18, so, and we're only going to use 15 of it. So take your ruler and measure out 15 here, and measure out 15 on this side. And I'm just making a little dash. And then I'm going to come across and make a line here so that I know where my image is going to go. Alright, so this is when I was talking about using a very light colored pencil like an H on your watercolor. And so down here I'm just going to come below the line a little bit. And remember, we're doing not 1 inch this time, we're doing 1.5 inches. So you want to go 1 inch and then 1/2, and then go 1.5 inches, which would make it 3, and then 1.5 inches, which would be 3.5 inches or 4.5 inches, and then another 1.5 inches would be 6, and then 1.5 inches would be 7.5, and then another 1.5 inches would be 9, 1.5 inches would be 10.5, and then it would be 12. So you want to make sure those are all right, and then the way to remember this is I had letters A through H going vertically like columns, and so if I just say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, it's the same as there. And so now I want to come up here to the top of my page and just do the same thing. So measuring out 1.5 inches, adding another 1.5 inches, which would make it 3. Another 1.5 inches would give you 4.5, and then 6, 7.5, 9, 10.5. Okay, and now you should take one of these long rulers and measure, look at it, and then this time very lightly you want to make a line. So I'm barely applying pressure, and I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but I'm just making a very light line. And then you want to come down and just do the same thing all the way down. All right, and now we want to mark out our other 1.5 inches. So we're going to go 1.5 inches this way as well. So very lightly, I want to do 1.5 inches, and then 3. 1.5 inches will give you 4.5. 1.5 inches will give you 6. 1.5 inches is 7.5. 1.5 inches is 9. And 1.5 inches is 10.5. 1.5 inches is 12, an inch and a half is 13 and a half. 13 and a half. Yep, so I'm just double checking, making sure that's correct. And then because I like to do lines on both, little dashes on both edges of my paper to make sure they're lined up. And remember, when you're measuring, you don't want to hold your ruler to the edge. You want to measure from the line where the ruler starts. And so that's why I like these clear rulers. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Remember, we're going 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 9, 10.5, 12, 13.5, and then it should go to 15. All right, and so then I have my horizontal lines, and I'm just lining these up. And remember, very lightly, I'm coming across, barely applying any pressure. So I get a very light line. Okay, and then you just want to do the whole thing across, making your total